You know this. I'm not a Vice guy.
I'm not addicted to any of those things.
You know what I mean? Like I do not struggle in the slightest, like with alcohol. I've never taken a puff on a cigarette in my life.
Yeah.
Marijuana was a college thing like everybody else. And
I went to school for 13 years. Don't I know it?
It'd be a lot cooler if you had. But I do check my damn phone way too much.
Yeah.
But that doesn't feel like that's having some like cratering effect on my life, at least not at this point.
Right.
I'm not a Vice guy, but the Giants are making me feel like an addict.
That might be your only vice, is your undying love of the Giants. And, I think that you are now starting to figure out, not that you want to quit them, but I think you're trying to maybe compartmentalize it in a different way. I've never heard you speak like you have been speaking, especially in May. You mentioned it yesterday. You get to September and you're 70 and 80. Okay, now we can talk about what went wrong and how they suck and this and that. This team is only 15 and 21, and they're right in the thick of it for the third wild card. Yet you're saying things, and your tone is unlike anything I've heard from you in early May.
Because it's not about the standings.
Right.
It's not about the standings. The San Francisco Giants are currently 3 games out of a wild card spot.
The third card, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're also ahead of 2 teams.
That's it? In the National League?
In the National League.
Jeez. Colorado and Miami, right?
Correct.
Okay.
They are ahead of...
Look at me.
2 teams.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay? And those 2 teams are absolute disasters. It's not about the standings. The Giants are fine. We could look at their playoff... in fact, let's do that.
Sure.
SF Giants... playoff odds right now, as we speak, up to the minute.
Probably 40%, I'd say. 40%.
Oh, I think it's probably below that. But let me look it up. San Francisco Giants playoff odds, 23.3%.
Okay.
All right? So kind of like somebody getting a hit in the majors right now is the Giants' chances of making the playoffs.
Yeah, it's about the Major League average, 233.
Yeah. So, like, the Giants are fine in terms of the standings. It's not that. It's not that. They've made me feel like an addict because they duped me into thinking that this time it was going to be different. And I know it's super easy today and every day. I know what most Giants fans' first go-to is. You and I got a fight, and I'm sorry, Joe, if you feel like I don't want to out you, but we're kind of open books on this thing.
I think they did most of their show on this very topic.
Well, he hadn't even been in.
That's right.
He's not even
out.
been in.
My bad.
But Shasky was listening to us yesterday, and we got a 5 exclamation point sentence, and it's he got to go. He's got to go.
Right.
And I get that's the snap reaction for a Giants fan. And my bulletproof vest is off. I can't hold that damn together anymore. I can't do it. There's not enough on my side. But I also know that, okay, fine. They do that today. Does that fix it?
No.
We done now? You have a new president of baseball ops, and you're like, get me some tickets.
Playoff tickets.
Woo, a new guy in a suit. Maybe he'll be at the Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame and talk to people next year. Like the San Francisco Giants did this offseason what all of you have been yelling that they don't do. They did it.
They extended Farhan Zaidi.
Well, there's that. But they spent.
Yep.
They spent some more. They got people you've heard of. They got a new manager. They put together a lineup that has people who have hit 30 home runs. They've got people now. It's the same damn thing. I don't care that they're 15 and 21. I care how lifeless they are. And this season was supposed to start with life. It was supposed to have life. I get sports. There's ups, there's downs. You cannot control sometimes when you hit a line drive and it's at someone and you lose a baseball game. I don't ask or call for. I don't live in Philly or New York. I don't expect the athletes to just get a hit because I want them to. Or throw your damn curveball right where you want to every time. It doesn't work like that. Klay Thompson can go 0 for 10, and I'm not leaving the boat and deciding that he's washed and he sucks. I don't think it works that way. But the San Francisco Giants, and the reason that Farhan Zaidi has essentially lost my ability to even try to come on the air and defend anymore, is that he is the president of baseball ops. He's not the president of the standings. He's the president of baseball operations, and the operation is lifeless. And some of that has to do with who you bat third, and some of it has to do with how you behave on an off day, what you put on the walls of the clubhouse, the morale that you build within the stadium, both in the clubhouse and the marketing department and the ticketing department and the rest of it. I've talked about this before. This lifeless thing is not just the dugout. It's a whole organization. The whole organization. If I had a noise to make to describe what it feels like to walk through the hallways of the Giants the last 3 or 4 years, it's
yeah.
And I'm sorry, you're the president of baseball operations. And that's the baseball operation right now. It is lifeless. It has failed to inspire from within and on the outside as well. And going into this year with a lot of differences, in the end, this is on me. I got my hopes up. And this team doesn't even show any fight. And I find it totally disappointing.
Well, they got your hopes up, and it's what they wanted to do. And they should have gotten your hopes up. And it's exciting to get into a season and have hopes that have been raised. And that's where you got, because of Soler and Chapman, because of Snell and Jung-Hoo Lee and so much more. It looked like, on paper, this team was not only going to be better, but they were going to be more exciting. And here we are 36 games in, and they're not better, and they're somehow just as dull, even though Conforto came out hitting, and Soler's had some tape measure shots. Jung-Hoo Lee has run 5 kilometers to track down the ball in the outfield. There have been moments of pure excitement, but by and large, and you look at this 7-game road trip as a great example, where you're averaging barely over 2 runs a game, and you're 1-6. And yeah, they're good teams you're playing, but you shouldn't be getting demolished by good teams. It would have been okay to go 3-4 so far on the 7-game trip with some excitement and some pop and some sizzle, but you're 1-6 and you've looked flatlined and you've looked overmatched by both of those teams.
I don't care who you're playing. If you can't score 4 runs, you're not going to win very many baseball games.
Yeah.
I don't even know. This is a stupid idea, but hey, we're on the radio. Let's have some fun. I don't want to sound narcissistic. I don't think anybody gives a rip what I go and do after these baseball games, but I feel like trying to inject some life into this series. So, like, I almost want to make a bet. I don't even know what the promise is. I don't know if it's that I go do something embarrassing. I don't know if it's that we do something fun for our listeners. The Giants have got to score 12 runs in this series. And if they don't, I will fill in blank.
12 in Colorado?
They got to score 12 runs in Colorado.
Man.
Which is not even a big ask at all. The Giants teams that I used to watch about 5-6 years ago would usually do that by the 3rd inning of the first game.
Yeah.
They'd have at least one. You'd go to Colorado and at least one time you'd rock a 15 spot. I'm asking for 12 runs in 3 days at altitude. And if they can't do it, I will blank. I tried to think on the way over, like, what would matter to people? What would matter to people? I'm not wearing a Dodger uniform.
Okay.
I'm not wearing, like, I won't do that.
That would probably burn you. Your skin, second degree.
That's religion.
That's going to be a no from you, dog?
It's going to be a no from me, dog.
That's a no for me, dog.
However,
we had a former PD who, before I joined the morning show, back when it was Chad, Joe, and Lowe, if Lowe lost a bet, he was going to have to walk naked down Market Street. The bit was they were going to get a dog named Naked, and he was going to walk naked down Market Street.
Not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
So that was the bit.
I'd like to not get arrested.
Okay.
Loco Moco on YouTube. Willard's got to give Dibs a foot massage on air if they don't.
I've been there, and I've got
I know you have.
PTSD. Thank you, Loco Moco.
Yeah. But you had to deliver it.
You're damn right I did.
This would be you getting it.
I don't know.
Do you even like a foot massage?
Not from you.
Yeah, exactly.
Not from you.
That's a good answer.
I don't, if I'm getting a foot massage, it's either by a professional or perhaps it will lead to further rubbing.
Oh,
can I say further rubbing, Grandy? Am I on thin ice today?
This is This is a fun one from Never Go Full Jeff.
Okay.
Hey, Willard, you would have to wear a shirt that says Giants baseball. That's going to be a no from me, dog.
Pretty good.
That's not bad. We could get one of those made.
Or we can get a Howard Eskin T-shirt. The Giants suck.
Oh, my God.
And that would be a T-shirt you could wear.
The Giants suck.
Just checking your Denver forecast.
What do we got?
37 degrees with rain showers. So not
care.
real hitting conditions tonight.
I don't care. You've got
It's going to be cold, Mark.
I don't care. 12 runs in 3 days is not...
It's a big ask.
It's not asking anything at Coors Field.
It's a big ask.
Nothing.
Do you know how many times the Giants have scored 12 runs in a series? I'm seeing they actually got 16 against the Rays when they dropped 2 of 3, including an 11-2 win.
Well, there you go. They had
Marlins series was 10 runs.
Okay.
4 games against the Diamondbacks. You went 5-1-7-3. That's 4 games.
Okay, that sounds like 16. Yep, that's 4 nights.
The Mets, 5-5-2. That's 12 against the Mets. There's the 12 you're looking for.
Andis Brown, how about Mark has to dress like Kapler and criticize this year's team in his voice?
Pretty good. I mean,
That was my Halloween costume a year and a half ago.
He's so stubborn.
I scored 5 runs against the Red Sox. And against the Phillies in 4 games, you scored 11 and 4. Not quite 12 and 3.
And that's a hitter's park, too.
Yeah.
Those are good pitchers, though. The Rockies don't have any of those. They don't have any good pitchers.
I think one series, Mark, this year, you've gotten 12 and 3.
That's the thing. They're not just at altitude. They're playing the worst team in baseball. Sorry, White Sox. They're playing the worst team in the National League.
I think those 2 teams are tied, I believe. Last I checked, yeah.
Are they really?
Both
the White Sox got hot.
Yeah.
The White Sox are a half game behind.
Oh, they must have lost yesterday.
They're 8-27. The Rockies are 8-26.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying. This is a perfect storm. The Rockies are 8-26, and they play a mile high. If you can't score 12 runs in 3 days there,
yeah, you've got problems. You've got real problems. I don't know what to tell you.
Uncle Looney says, no sauteed spinach for a week. I don't think I could do it, Loon. I don't think I could do it. Yeah. This is, oddly, on May 7th. This is the most disappointed I've been in the entire Farhan era.
Wow. And it's 36 games in.
36 games in. Because of what this year represented. Because of what this year was all about. And it's not, again, it's not the standings. It's the lifelessness of your